the idea that Emperor Xi would somehow lead China to its glorious past, where it would be the most important country in the world, where the world would revolve around the Chinese pole, that this would somehow be the Chinese century. Ian Bremmer articulating that this G20 and the existence of the G20 suggests that no such thing is going to happen. There is no Chinese century. Yes, of course, China is important, make no mistake, as is the United States, as is India, the European Union, the African Union, all of them together. So Emperor Xi needs to give up the idea of this somehow being then the Chinese century. Kishor, Mahbubani.
Yes, first, let me agree with Ian Bremmer before I disagree with Ian Bremmer. Both he and Samir are friends of mine. I agree with Ian Bremmer that at the end of the day, the 10 billion people on planet Earth in the year 2100 are going to ask themselves the simple question whether the G20 prepared humanity and dealt with the major global challenges we face. No, the common global challenges we face, whether it's climate change, pandemics, global financial crisis, terrorism, whatever it is. I think that's what we should focus on. I agree with Ian. At the end of the day, forget who wins, who loses in G20. What's more important is the G20 addressing the common concerns of humanity. And I strongly endorse what Ian said, that we should come together and deal with the common challenges that humanity is facing. 8 billion of us now, 10 billion in 2100. Now, on the question of the Chinese century, I've never ever said that the 21st century will be the Chinese century. My book, The Asian 21st Century, which has been downloaded 3.24 million times over in 160 countries around the world, says that the 21st century will be the Asian century. And the Asians, by the way, still make up 55% of the world's population, 4.5 billion out of 8 billion. And by the way, India is very, very much a big part of the story of the Asian century. And indeed, as Angus Maddison, a British historian, pointed out, that from the year 1 to the year 1820, for 1800 out of the last 2,000 years, the two largest economies of the world were always those of India and China. So what we're seeing is the natural return of India and China. And by the way, including ASEAN. I mean, the ASEAN is the most underrated organization in the whole world. And you're creating a new growth triangle, the new CIA growth triangle, not the Central Intelligence Agency, but China, India, ASEAN. And these 3.5 billion people in China, India, ASEAN are going to drive global economic growth for the next 100 years. Take my word for it.